He woke up screaming. Before he even understood why, his body reacted first. Heart slamming. Throat tearing open. Only then did his brain catch up to what his eyes were seeing. Two hands wrapped around the edge of his bedroom doorway. Fingers curling inward, like they were testing the grip. Knuckles pale against the dark wood. No face. No body. Just hands. He bolted upright. The scream ripped out of him again. Louder this time. The hands vanished instantly, as if they had never been there. Silence rushed in to replace the sound. Thick. Crushing. He sat frozen. Breath coming in sharp, shallow bursts. Staring at the doorway. Every instinct told him to run. His legs refused to move. Hello? His voice cracked on the word. Nothing answered. He forced himself out of bed. Feet slapping softly against the floor. Every step felt like a mistake. Bedroom light. Hallway. Kitchen. Cabinets closed. Bathroom empty. Front door locked. Windows shut. No one anywhere. He stood alone in the middle of the apartment. Hands shaking. Trying to convince himself he'd imagined it. At 19, he had wanted this more than anything. His own place. Silence that belonged to him. A door he could close, lock, and finally breathe behind. The apartment wasn't impressive. Cheap carpet. Thin walls. A kitchen barely big enough to turn around in. But it was his. Ridgeway wasn't glamorous. It was affordable. And that mattered more than anything else. That night was supposed to be normal. Almost boring. Earlier, he'd been sitting on the couch with Lena. Empty pizza box on the floor between them. They laughed. Talked about nothing important. The TV played in the background. When it got late, she stood, grabbed her jacket, and said, "I should go before it gets weird." He walked her to the door. Watched her step into the hallway. Locked it behind her. He remembered the sound clearly. The click of the lock. He remembered checking it twice. Because he always checked things twice. That was the last normal moment of the night. After she left, he went straight to bed. No music. No phone scrolling. Just exhaustion pulling him under. And then, the hands. After searching the apartment for the third time, he grabbed his phone. Called the first person who picked up. "Bro," his friend said, voice thick with sleep. "What's wrong?" "There was someone in my apartment." The words came out too fast. "I saw them. I swear I did." A pause. Then a sigh. "Did you drink?" "No." "Are you sure?" "Yes." Another pause. "Man, you just moved out. New place. You're stressed." "I saw hands," he said. "Hands on my doorframe." Okay, his friend replied carefully. You probably half woke up. That happens. Especially if you were dreaming. He hung up feeling smaller than before. He called another friend. Then another. Each conversation followed the same path. You're tired. You're stressed. You're overthinking. One of them laughed nervously. Congrats. You just unlocked sleep paralysis. He didn't sleep again that night. Morning light crept in slowly, turning the apartment ordinary again. Less threatening. He stood in the doorway of his bedroom, staring at the exact spot, telling himself daylight made everything clearer. That's when he saw them. 2 smudges on the doorframe. Fingerprints. Clear. Defined. Exactly where the hands had been. His stomach dropped. He leaned closer. Raised his own hand to compare. The size didn't match. The angle didn't match. Someone else's fingers had been there. He sat on the floor, back against the wall. Laughed once. A short, hollow sound. Then his breathing started to shake. He called his father next. You didn't lock the door. No concern. Just irritation. That's what happens when you don't lock doors. I did lock it. Well, clearly you didn't. The conversation ended quickly. He scrubbed the fingerprints away. Towel. Bleach. Even though part of him didn't want to. Part of him wanted proof to stay. Something solid. Something he could point to when doubt crept back in. For a while, life continued. Classes. Work. Bills. He started double-checking windows. Then triple-checking. He slept with his phone in his hand. Any noise at night sent his pulse racing. But nothing else happened. Eventually, the fear dulled. Years earlier, before the apartment, he had learned how to be alone. His parents were rarely home. Work trips. Late nights. Long absences. He learned which lights to leave on. Which doors creaked. Which sounds meant nothing. That house trained him. One night, alone again, his phone buzzed. No caller ID. He let it ring. It stopped. Buzzed again. He answered without thinking. At first, just breathing. Then faintly. A television. His television. He muted the TV in front of him. The sound on the phone stopped. At the exact same moment, his blood turned cold. Hello, he whispered. Footsteps creaked somewhere in the house. If you're still watching, tap like. It helps this story reach people who understand this fear. The call didn't disconnect. And neither did the feeling that he wasn't alone. After that, something shifted. Not fear. Fear fades. This didn't fade. It reorganized him. He noticed patterns. Every incident happened when he was alone. Not just physically. Unaccounted for. No witnesses. That realization stayed. He replayed Ridgeway over and over. The lock. The quiet. The certainty. How long had the hands been there? Had they been watching him sleep? That thought kept him awake for hours. Nothing was stolen. Nothing broken. No damage. Just intrusion. That was worse. Because theft has motive. Violence has purpose. But presence without intent? That felt personal. He stopped trusting silence. Silence meant space. Space meant opportunity. In new apartments, he walked the perimeter first. Windows. Doors. Closets. Every night. Sometimes twice. Sometimes 3 times. "You're paranoid," a friend joked. "Relax. Nothing's gonna happen." He smiled and nodded. Explaining never worked. Explaining turned memories into stories people dismissed. Once is bad luck. Twice is concerning. 3 times forces you to stop calling it coincidence. Alone meant exposed. The events weren't escalating. They were reminding him. Reinforcing a rule. He framed his life around presence. Neighbors. Visibility. Witnesses. People mistook it for maturity. They didn't see the calculations. He still locks doors. Still checks windows. But he doesn't live in fear. He lives with awareness. And awareness is heavy, but protective. If this resonated, leave a comment. You don't need to explain. Just say you get it. Because once you've seen hands where hands shouldn't be, you never stop looking.